What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Bundesliga career mode. This is episode number 13. We start today's off by officially changing the position of Dardai, who of course he signed in the last episode. 73 rated, 20-year-old centre-half. We've transitioned him to now play as a holding mid in this team. And it's mainly because we've now got 4 centre-halves after the signings of Riga and also Klunter as well. To add to Pfeiffer and Piper, I don't think he'll get as much game time at centre-half as he would as holding mid. And when you look at his stats as well, you know, I talked about it, he's tall, he's strong, he can jump, defensively reads the game brilliantly. But with the good passing he's got, I really feel sitting alongside Schaefer, protecting our back four, is where we'll get the best out of him in this Arminia Bielefeld side. So now officially a holding mid in his team, and hopefully it will prove to be a good position change. Still, following that, we had a academy update, first of the season. I changed Ludwig's position, or I'm training him, I should say, to a winger now. Now, I've had him on the inverted wing-back development plan. He's 58 overall, 17 years old. When you look at his stats here, his defending is so bad. Why did it take me so long to realise this guy is not a wing-back? He's got a little bit of pace about him, decent dribbling, decent passing. I mean, possibly playing through the middle as an attacking mid, he could definitely do that. Or out on the wing as an inside forward, as an understudy for Robin Hack. He could do either of those roles. But really, I kept on talking about how he's our best prospect in the academy in terms of potential overall, but it was his overall which was letting him down. His starting rating was so bad, and the reason why is because he's being played horribly out of position in our youth team at wing back. He's just not going to get the best out of his game there in more of a defensive position. If he goes further up the pitch, probably turn into a much better player as the years go by. Maybe a Gareth Bale in this team. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Still, we sent our scouts out for another year. Obviously, we're going to Germany again. I didn't send our other scout out last season. I don't know why I didn't do that. I sent the best one we picked up to Germany for a year, but for some reason I didn't send the other one out. But now we have. I felt for realism, you know, with Bielefeld being in northwest Germany, I felt as though looking for a country that borders Germany, probably towards again the left or the north, was the right thing to do. So we're going to Belgium. I was thinking, you know, maybe Switzerland, but in the end I chose Belgium. It was Belgium, Netherlands and Switzerland I was thinking about. I chose Belgium. We never got a real habit for bringing through great young talents. Hopefully we'll find some here with Bielefeld. And also we accepted a bid for Müller. He is a young striker that came back from a loan spell last season. I don't think he'll get any game time in this team, so I'm fine selling him for a small transfer fee. He's in his early 20s, but I'm not sure he'll have much potential. And also Nankishi, who we signed from Werder Bremen last season. We didn't really play him last year, but we saw that Celtic wanted to take him on a 2-year loan deal, and like with Meyer, who we've loaned out to Anderlecht, it's best to let the young wingers go out on loan, because in this team they're just not going to get much game time whatsoever, as Müller goes here for £1.6 million. At the end of the day, you know, I've talked about it a few times now, our best 3 players in this team are in the attacking midfield trio. Our 2 inside forwards in Robin Hack and Wimmer, and then of course Okugawa through the middle. The likes of Nankishi and Maya, they're young talents, but they need game time. They're not going to get it here, so loaning them out to Celtic and Anderlecht respectively, I think it's the right decision to do. We'll see how they get on. And also a bid for Piper. How about this for a massive bid? Hoffenheim wanting to take our 24-year-old. I didn't even think about it, man. I rejected that so quickly. 18.7 mil, massive bid, but this guy is only 24 years old. He grew, I think, 5 ratings last year to 79 overall. This guy, to me, could potentially become club captain. Ortega took the armband last season. He's okay as a standing captain, but I want an official one. If I was going to give it to someone in this team right now, I'm thinking either Okugawa or Piper. And I think Piper is probably my number 1 tip at the moment to get it. Schaefer maybe in a few years, but at the moment probably doesn't have the pedigree to be captain of this team. Still, first game of the season, all first 3 games coming today, and we take on Bayer Leverkusen away in the season opener. 3 really tough fixtures as well. Leverkusen away at the Bayer Arena, a European standard team. Then we've got Bayern Munich, the champions at home, and then Schalke back in the Bundesliga away at the Veltins Arena. Our first 3 games of the season, and it seems to be no easier than last year. We head into the season still a 3.5-star team, and I showed you the team before the game. This is only marginally better than the team we had last season. Dardai and Riga, the former Hertha Berlin boys, they're all going to make their debuts in this game, but really, they're not major step-ups on the players we already have, so it's still around the same ability as the team we had last year. And that's why for our first 3 games, I've got to be honest, heading into the start of the season, I was a little bit nervous. And Leverkusen away, such a frustrating goal to concede. 31 minutes in, I've been a better team in the opening half an hour. Had a couple of good chances, a couple of good saves, get to the 0-0, and then a really frustrating goal there. Tried to clear the ball to Tirana new man, dispossessed inside the area. And if you get dispossessed and robbed inside your own penalty area against the AI in Ultimate, just put the controller down, because you're going to concede, there's no doubt about it. So Leverkusen took the lead, totally against the run of play though. I'd been a better team in this game, and that's why 10 minutes after the restart, I wasn't surprised to see this. What I just talked about a moment ago there, Piper, possibly future club captain, heads in our first goal of the season. Corner, whipped into the middle, and we've got some height in this team, you know, we've got some really decent height in this side. Piper, one of those players above 6 foot, heads in the corner, gives us our first goal of the season, puts us back on level terms, and then later on in the game, momentum totally shifted. We've been a better team, but Leverkusen really woke up after that leveller. It was all Bayer in the closing stages, and with 2 minutes to go, Florian Wirtz thought he'd scored a game winner. What a save by Ortega. 2 great stops by our number 1 right towards the end of the game, ensuring we close out a point away at the Bayer Arena on match day 1. So yeah, really tough game there in the first game of the season. Stood up to the test really well. I felt on another day, had I taken my chances, could have won it, but really could have gone either way, I think, on the balance of play. But I'll take the point on the opening day, no doubt about that. Battling back to claim 1 draw on match day 1 against Bayer Leverkusen. That's a decent result in my book, and I'm certainly going to take that one. But like I said, it was going to get no easier this season. Still a 3.5-star team. We're not currently at the ability where we can take on those sort of teams, especially away, and say, oh yeah, I fancy our chances in this one. And that's why for match day 2, our first game at the Stuttgart Arena this season, I always talk about it. You want to win your first home game. You want to get off to a good start in front of your home crowd at the start of a new season. But we didn't have much chance. Yeah, we were taking on the champions and the best and most dominant team in Germany for well over a decade. Bayern Munich coming to Bielefeld to take us on. Whilst we had the first chance to go through Kruger, his first start since the 7-month ACL injury. A good stop by Neuer kept it goalless, and in 28 minutes in, well, you give this guy the ball in and around the edge of the area, and he'll probably find the back of the net. One of the greatest strikers we've seen in the modern era. Robert Lewandowski gives Bayern Munich the lead. He scored against me every single game we faced Bayern so far in this series. This game, no exception whatsoever, and quite frankly, he was just too hot to handle in this one. Won the Golden Boot last year, of course, as we know, broke the record held by Müller for most goals in a single campaign in German football. Robert Lewandowski, man, I mean, seriously, what an unbelievable striker he is. You know, obviously I've been watching football since I was 6. It pains me to say it's been well over 20 years since then. And, you know, in all my years watching football, I've been blessed to have seen so many world-class strikers in my time. In terms of natural finishing ability and the way to score goals in a wide variety of ways, Lewandowski is one of the absolute best. You know, from his time at Lech Poznan when he burst onto the scene as a young Polish striker, moving on to Borussia Dortmund, and then the transfer to Bayern and developing his game and going from what was a great striker in the Bundesliga and a great striker in Europe to one of Europe's absolute best and absolute elite. I talk about the greats and the greats in football, and I always say how when they move teams or when they get a little bit older, but when they progress, when they continuously progress, they don't rest on their laurels, but they just get better. That's the likes of Robert Lewandowski for me. He just found a way to continue getting better, and that's a sign of a true great player. Lewandowski's 2 goals saw Bayern win the game. Their first loss of the season at the Stuttgart Arena, coming to the champions, but really not much I could do about it. Came up against a world-class striker and a world-class team. So third and final game, and I was looking forward to this one. The Veltins Arena, one of my favourite stadiums in Germany, away in Gelsenkirchen. A newly promoted side to the Bundesliga, and I was thinking, okay, out of the first 3 games, this one appeared to be the easiest one. Leverkusen and Bayern, 2 European sides, but now Schalke, newly promoted, back in the top tier. And despite being away, I fancy my chances. We had a goal disallowed early. Kruger thought he'd scored his first goal since the length of layoff, ruled out for offside. I thought it was a lot tighter than the line seems to suggest on. Poor old Kruger, man. I tell you, he's come back and he's putting himself about there, but he just can't get a goal at the moment. Very unlucky. Still 1-0 though after a good save there. Kept Schalke in front of the break. And in the second half, 22 minutes to go. My defence absolutely shocking here. A little youth player bamboozles me, gets through my defence with a little heel-to-heel flick. It's 2-0 Schalke. And I was thinking, okay, this is not the start I wanted. 1 point from a possible 9. I knew it wasn't going to get any easier this season, but I didn't think it was going to get harder. There's 12 minutes to go. We're down by a goal. I was throwing so many red shirts forward at this point. I thought, you know what? I cannot afford back-to-back defeats to start the season off and back-to-back games without a goal. I need to get a lifeline, get back in this one. When I need a hero to step up in this team, it's normally this man, Okugawa. Volleys in the goal to make it 2-1. There's still time, and you know late goals in FIFA are so common nowadays. 4 minutes to go, corner cleared, comes out to Piper, our centre-half finds Hack. Oh, and what a belter from Robin Hack, and from 2-0 down with 12 minutes on the clock. Heading into the game, I would have said a draw was a bad result, but all things considered, 2-0 down in the closing stages, I'll take it. Okugawa and Hack, our two best players of the season last year, combining to drag us back into the game single-handedly. Single-handedly? Well, the two of them together doing it in a 2-2 draw, and I guess I will take it. So, tough starts to the season for Bielefeld, our first games of the year, and it's got no easier as we expected. But again, I'll say it, this is what I wanted, a real challenge, and we've got it in Season 2, just like we had in Season 1. 2 points picked up from a possible 9. No wins in our first 3 games. And the same problems as last season. Yeah, it's going to be another tough season at the Stuttgart Arena for Bielefeld, I'm sure. But that will end today's episode of the Bundesliga Career, guys. Big fan of watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode featuring a big transfer deadline day signing very soon.